So, why am I doing this? I found it really hard to find information about the 9871 Cayman S, is the short version. There's a reasonable amount about the Boxster, but no one seems to do any videos on the Cayman, which seems crazy when they're like such a good value proposition for the performance that you get. It makes very little sense to my simple mind. So I thought I'd do some. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done a YouTube channel before. Let's see how it goes. Right, hi everyone. My name is Gareth, and I decided there were not enough videos on the interwebs about the great 9871 Cayman S. So here we go. This is my Cayman, and it is a 2006 car. It's a manual, and I think it's brilliant. It is my second adventure into Porsche ownership. I used to have a 9961, one of the early lightweight models, so cable throttle and all those other great things, and it was brilliant. But it was also a car that got nearly 140,000 miles on it, and I kind of just got to a point where I fancied something different. I'd done the 911 thing, and I wondered what all the fuss was about with the Cayman. So I found this car from a specialist and went ahead and did the deal. It's got quite a few options, I think. So the usual things like xenon lights and things like that. However, it does have the really nice sports steering wheel, the sports short shift kit, both of which are absolutely excellent. And as you can probably hear, it's got a few other bits and pieces going on that make it sound rather lovely. I will try and talk about those on this amazing evening drive I'm going to do through the Cotswolds. So I thought we could probably start with some really useful things about owning a 987.1. And the obvious thing that everyone's going to start with is don't buy a 9871 or a 9971 because you will get bore score. And that will be the end of your car and it will implode. I guess, much like the 996 M96 generation engines, there are things to be aware of, but it is not every single car is going to explode. My car has now got 77,000 miles. I bought it with just over 70,000 miles, and when I bought it from the dealer, they had done a bore score check, which I got a report with it, completely clear. There are things that you can do to try and stave off the dreaded bore score. Obvious things like don't leave it idling when it's freezing cold, don't rev it over 3,000 before it's got up to temperature. But I've done a few more preventative things. So Hartec recommend, this car hasn't been rebuilt, Hartec recommend that you use Miller's 10W50 oil, the NT plus CFS Magic. I've got that. I've got the cold temp thermostat. I've got a centre radiator kit, which you can get off eBay with official Porsche parts for like £230. And then I've also got the FVD deeper baffled sump, so it's 0.6 of a litre more capacity, and it's got the X51 styles baffles in it. My view is, if at this point the engine goes bang, it was always going to go bang, and there's not a lot I can do about it. But if you try and do those sorts of things, I'll make sure I put a link at the bottom to the exact parts I'm on about, then I think you stand half a chance of a really cool ownership journey. Let's talk about brakes. So, brakes in the 987, as standard in the Cayman S, they're obviously pretty good. Massive 4-pot things at the front and great things at the back as well. But I found pedal travel was a bit interesting. If you're on a nice little jaunt across the country and you go to use the brakes for the first time, I got quite a big dead zone at the top, and I didn't like that. And I did a bit of reading, and lots of other people seem to complain about this. What I went for was a GT3 master cylinder, and I cheated and I didn't buy a GT3 stickered master cylinder. I simply bought the part that you can get which I think is PNM 166, and it was 130 euros from a place in Germany, as opposed to £500 for one in the UK that's got a Porsche sticker on it. Again, I'll put a link to that there. It absolutely transformed the pedal feel. It feels quite firm now, but I like that. I've also got braided hoses on there, just Goodrich braided lines, and I've got some different brake fluid as well. I've got Motul RBF 600. The brakes are absolutely fantastic now. They are superb, they're really progressive, they're strong, they don't seem to get tired. I've not tracked the car, but I can push it pretty hard on the road and it's absolutely fine. No issues at all, or just handling generally. I will be crucified by those who know me, because I'm obviously going to talk about geometry and alignment. I think it makes such a massive difference to cars. My background years ago, I used to have an S2000 that I got the great people at Centre Gravity, Chris, doing his magic on it like 15 years ago. It totally transformed the car. It made so much difference, I can't even put it into words. But obviously there's people who just go to the local tyre shop and just get it all in the green and think it's great. And if that works for you, that's brilliant. This car, when I bought it, had really good history. It had Pilot Sport 4S all round. It was absolutely amazing. It felt massively better than the 996 I had that had been on Pilot Sport 5s and had, I guess, tired 20-odd-year-old suspension on it. I got the team, Lee and his folks at Cotswold Porsche to look after this car for me, and at the major service last year, they went front to back on the suspension, some new coffin arms, toe arms, top mounts, all those sorts of things, making everything absolutely great, and then they did an amazing alignment on it. I cannot explain how much it transformed the car. It has absolutely changed the game. I know everyone's obsessed with, don't buy a car that's got electric steering, buy an older Porsche, it's got hydraulic steering, it makes all the difference. Decent in-life suspension makes a difference. Properly set up, nicely maintained, it makes all the difference in the world. It is amazing. I would risk saying this is the best handling car I've ever owned. I've been really lucky to drive loads of cool things. The other things on our driveway, probably not the best handling cars in the world, but Mark V GTI and now a John Kluper Works Mini Clubman 300 brake horsepower bucket of chaos. This is just next level. It feels absolutely sublime. You're getting it every time you drive it. It's like it's a huge sense of occasion. You really feel connected to it. All those things that people in Evo magazine and everywhere else talks about, you really feel it in these. I can never get over how cheap they are for what is such an amazing handling car. My car was 15,500, I think, when I bought it in April 2024. I am thinking about changing it at the moment, simply because I really, really fancy a 981 GTS of some flavour, probably. I don't think you can have more fun for a 15 grand. I don't think there's another car out there that drives as well as these things. Sure, okay, you've got that dice roll of fear for bore score, but do you know, these things are absolutely biblical. They're such good fun, and I think they've got an amount of power that really works on UK roads. Like, you can't be in a situation where every single time you reach for the gear stick and put your foot down, you're doing 130 mile an hour. That just isn't practical. It's not safe. It's not a reasonable way to behave. Cars like that, you need to go on the track, and we love going on track days, don't we? It's great. It's absolutely awesome. So I'll talk a bit about the things that have made the car sound a little bit different now. Has it given more power? Maybe. I've not had it on a dyno. I imagine it probably has. Some people will tell me I've lost some power with some of the bits, but hey, here we are. So when I bought the car, it had a Dansk sports exhaust, which is actually really, really subtle. There's no drone at all. It's really nice. It's got a nice fruity note to it. And then I did some stuff to the intake. So it's got a BMC air filter. It's got a GT3 throttle body, and it's got an IPD plenum. I personally found that I think that made a difference. If you read any forum in America, they'll tell you that all those parts are amazing, they make a huge difference. And if you read any forum in the UK, you'll hear the IPD plenum's made of aluminium, it causes heat soak on your engine, you're going to have loads of problems, it gets really hot, don't do that, you're going to lose power in the mid-range. I found it better in the mid-range. I used to find that my car felt really flat below about 5,000 RPM. I don't know if that was like a thing that was really different, 996 to 987, like engine changes and how the cam profiles work, but it just felt really flat. And with everyone being obsessed with Caymans and Boxsters got long gears, I kind of put it down to that. But fitting those parts made a huge difference. And if only the only thing that I got from it is a bigger sense of theatre when I'm driving the car, I'll take that. You know, it's good fun to have a car that's fun. It's sounding nicer, makes it more fun. There's the whole butt dyno thing, isn't there, where like it sounds quicker, so it must be quicker. I think it probably is. You know, these are 290 PS, is it, from the factory? Maybe I'm at 300 now. Who knows? I should probably get it dynoed. I think the big thing I found out recently is my Dansk exhaust has got 200 cell cats next to it. My manifolds have still got their standard fit cats in them. I'm really tempted to swap those out either for completely decatted items or for ones with 200 cell sports cats. Both would still be road legal, as I understand it. Obviously the decat ones will get you a bit more performance. Probably putting 200 cell cats in would be absolutely fine, and just make sure you're super safe come MOT time. So if we talk a little bit about the interior, so this car's got the really cool hardback sports seats that are 16 ways, electrically adjustable. They are super comfy. I used to just have the standard seats in my 996. These things are amazing. They hold you really nicely. You've got just enough feel in them that like you're not bouncing all over the place. It's ace. It's got PCCM, the original thing. I'll make sure I put a clip of that in a second. Yeah, that's not aged great, has it? However, you can obviously get the PCCM, their Porsche Classic replacement unit for that. I think it's about £1,500 fitted at a Porsche dealer, which seems amazing value to me when you think it's a Porsche dealer doing it. However, you can get a cheap Apple CarPlay unit like for £400 if you go and get like a pretty decent Alpine or Pioneer or Kenwood setup. I've got a Pioneer head unit in my Golf. It's great. I imagine it would be great in one of these too. This car's got Bose. I know that means you need to get the fibre optic adapter cable whenever you get an aftermarket head unit. I think that's probably fine, isn't it? You'll notice what I did just there. I do this all the time. It feels, after everyone complains how long the gears are on a Cayman, I always find myself when I'm in 6th checking that I'm actually in 6th and not in 4th. It feels short. The car always feels like it wants to go. And that's part of the fun for me. This car's got Sport Chrono Plus. I find, honestly, putting the Sport button on, yeah, sure, do you know what, the pedal's a bit more sensitive. If anything, I think you have to be so careful because it makes it a little bit jerky when you like breathe near the throttle. Again, another thing on the interior on this car, I'll try and find a picture of when I did the work to it. I had the dreaded problem where like the plastic coating comes off the controllers for the aircon. That was like a £30 part. I think you can get them for like £10 on AliExpress now. And it was maybe half an hour of my time. The biggest hassle was making sure I took off the sides of the centre console correctly to pull out that climate control panel. But you know, it's all good. This is still a 19-year-old car. It is not new. But it feels really cool inside. It feels fresh. It feels fun. I think if it had a better head unit in it, it'd feel really modern again. I think we're hopefully going to get to a bit in a second where I can try and show you the theatre of that exhaust. And then we've got some cool roads coming up in the deeper bits of the Cotswolds. someone like me tried to do it, it's absolutely awful, as are most roads now in the UK. I think that's another really important thing to talk about with the Cayman. So, Cayman R would be amazing. Would love a Cayman R. I think we have to accept that you drive to the quality of the roads that are around you. And these roads in the UK now, it's not like when I was like 19 and 20 and everything felt like it was silk. They're awful. There's so many roads that just need tearing up and relaying. And I think being able to like have good fun down those sorts of roads is still really important. I was at a Porsche meet a few weeks ago and had a amazing, I think it was a 991 GT3 behind me. And he bottomed out twice on one of the roads that we were going down. I was not going that fast. I was definitely, it was an NSL road. I was doing like 50. How can you be in a car that bottoms out at 50? That is crazy. That is the state our roads have got into. Interestingly, that's also a car that I think he's on his third windscreen because the glass is so thin, they keep cracking. Porsche, you've got to sort that out. Like, that is crazy. You cannot have owners who bought like your marquee cars who keep getting broken windscreens on normal. So I'm not sure if the mic picks it up every now and again. You might hear like a interesting squeaky noise coming from the back. My understanding, speaking to Console Porsche, is that is a joyous coincidence of my IPD Plenum and GT3 throttle body and where the over-the-top coolant pipes run. I think I just need to find a better way to push them to one side when I put the engine cover back on. They suggested maybe getting a slight hump put in the engine cover and that would get rid of it. Just something to be aware of if you do that mod. And this is what the Cayman's just amazing for. Just, I'm pottering along, going through the outskirts of a town, making my way towards some biblical driving roads up in the Cotswolds. And it's just easy. It's a 19-year-old car, but it feels comfortable. I don't think I'm going to feel tired at the end of driving it. It's not overly noisy. Every now and again, I can have a little play with the throttle and get some of that great noise coming out the back of the car. The gearbox is brilliant. The brakes are brilliant. The steering's amazing. It's just fun, and it's cheap fun. I know we talk so much about how much things cost these days, and it's bloody hard, but even a nice little 2.7's great. Loads of people I know who've had 987 2.7 Boxsters, absolutely love them and say they're the best sports car they've ever owned. You can get them for under £10,000. That is amazing. Maybe I should get one of those. Ah yes, Tyres. We didn't talk about Tyres, did we? So, this car originally, when I bought it, had Pilot Sport 4S's on, and they were amazing. They felt... Oh, thank you very much for that, mate. That was a nice overtake. They felt really, really good, dry and wet, awesome. No idea how Michelin did that. I've now got Conti Sport Contact 7s on, which were usefully cheaper than the Pilot Sport 4S. I think they were £600 for all four, compared to, I think it was about 900 it was going to be to do 4S's again. I know it's so hard to compare brand new tyres to ones that are down to 3mm. Yes, I'm one of those weird people who changes their tyres at 3mm. I think they're just as good. Maybe when they get hot, the rear's a bit happier in this car. Maybe. They're great. They've got amazing feel. They're good in the wet and the dry. They are more than enough for day-to-day use on the roads. They feel fantastic. So what about day-to-day running costs? Road tax is expensive, over £700 for a year. Thank you very much. It's not great on fuel. Probably, if I drove it really sensibly on a long journey, I'd maybe get mid to high 20s. I average about low 20s. But it's a weekend car. I think that's fine. Fuel isn't really that much if you don't drive that much. Yeah, that's fine. Standard servicing is actually really affordable. Nothing seems that outlandish. It's not like when I had the 911 and every single time I went near a garage, £1,000 please, another £1,000 please. Ah, you're near the garage, another £1,000 please. And that seemed to be on literally anything. Oh, you've got this issue with a broken rear brake heat shield. We'll replace that. Oh no, the ABS sensor's imploded as we touched it. Oh, hang on, so now the handbrake unit has fallen apart too. I think you just get that with older cars, don't you? And there's not a lot you can really do about it. You just have to take a deep breath and enjoy the ride. So this is where this car absolutely excels. I don't know how much the motion detection and image stability works on this camera. This is a typical British B road that maybe was flat once, but it definitely isn't now. And this thing's just great. It just goes across it, and yeah, do you know what? There's plenty of suspension travel going on, but it's composed, and the steering wheel isn't bouncing all over the place. I'm not diving between the lanes. I'm in a really comfortable driving position. I'm just enjoying it. The need to go insanely fast and overtake the person in front of me who's making more than good enough progress. And the car's fine. I mean, you can probably see these bumps going on here and there, but it's just great. Doesn't feel hard at all. Right, here we go. Let's go and see what it can do in second gear. Just goes, and it sounds brilliant. And we'll just coast down as a tractor ahead. End of summer. Understandable, really. It just gets up and goes, and it wants to rev. It just wants to go faster and faster and faster. Just like that. And again, I don't know how much you can see on the camera. We're bouncing a bit, but that's fine. It's all very predictable. Off, and it's lovely and sedate again, and it's just a nice little driving machine. And that's because there's yet another tractor. It's their fields though, isn't it? No tractors, no food. So let's talk about Porsche Club. Okay, so I obviously knew it existed, but the first time I heard about Porsche Club GB properly was I had gone to a piston heads meet that Nürburgring had set up. Amazing event, loads of cool cars, and a very thoroughly nice chap there said to me, am I in the local group? And I was not. And he said it was well worth doing, and it was a really decent bunch of people. So I gave it a go, and I will risk saying it is that good that whenever I think about changing cars, like when I went from the 996 to this, and when I'm thinking about going from this to the 981, I'm only considering Porsches. I've thought about, wouldn't it be cool to get an R8 V10, and when I got this, or what about, one last final hurrah at an E46 M3. I couldn't be an R31 then, and that'd just be a bit pants. They're all really cool people. They're all super enthusiastic about the cars. The events are really, really, really well organised. There's just obviously been the Cotswolds Rally. There's Porsche Club GB's one of their main flagship events. The pictures from that are just amazing. We're so lucky. We've got a couple of people in the group who do fantastic photography. The limit of my photography is using a potato camera and an iPhone. They just do amazing things, and it's all just things that you get as part of the fun. You know, go for a great drive on a Sunday morning, and then after we've been on a great drive, go somewhere for breakfast, and it's lovely, and it's really nice, and it's surrounded by decent people. You know, what's not to like? They do loads of other things as well, depending on how much time you've got in your life, and they do all sorts of really cool things like holidays and visits to the Porsche Museum and stuff. I definitely want to give that a go at some point. They've had some amazing jaunts out there. I would definitely say it is money well spent just for the social aspect, but there's really good savings as well. I'm pretty sure you get money off at all the dealerships for servicing. You get money off at Design 911. I'm lazy, I order things off Design 911 because they've got really good parts catalogue, and you know, yeah, I probably could just take that part number to the local dealer and get it cheaper over the counter, but you know, someone's gone to the effort of putting that parts picker there for me and all the exploded diagrams. It's probably only fair that they make a couple of quid on me ordering some screws or whatever. I want about little things like when you're trying to stay on top of your car, in the front storage area on a Cayman, there's these cool little twisty clips to hide all the tyre jelly and all those sorts of things. Mine broke, and yeah, it's just nice to support people who've actually done something decent, isn't it? Now, this is thoroughly irritating because this section of road we're getting to now is probably one of my favourite roads in the Cotswolds. I've only ever once managed to drive it without there being a car in front of me. And tonight isn't going to be the second time. Tonight is going to be another occasion when I'm behind a Toyota Auris hybrid, and I'm going to do 30 and a 60 for no justifiable reason, which feels really sad. But anyone in Region 31 will find that hilarious because it's the common point and laugh at Gareth moment. Plenty of low down talk, not fifth. We'll try third. Yeah, I think Porsche ownership, you know, unsurprisingly, if you've got amazing roads near you, it makes a huge difference because you can really enjoy the cars. They're not cars, you can, but they're not cars designed to sit on the motorway doing 140 mile an hour every day and thinking you're going to get all your fun from it. The fun is this. The fun is up to and around the speed limit on twisty stuff, where you turn it up just enough to have some sensible fun, but everyone stays safe. God, this road would be amazing if there wasn't other cars. One day I will get to do the road without the cars there. One day. I don't know how much it's picking up. It's not intrusive, even with that sports exhaust and all the bits and pieces I've done to it. It's not intrusive. I'm below 2,000 revs. I probably should be a bit higher, really, shouldn't I? Let's go into third. Third's 3,000. That's not too bad. Fourth is 2,000 and a bit at 40. You know, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, do you know what? It's not a PDK. It's manual. I quite like the fact it's manual. You couldn't get PDK in 987 anyway, could you? It's Tiptronic. It's good fun stirring the box. You get to stir the soul a little bit, don't you? And the pedal box on this is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? You know, little blip into going down the gears there. I probably did that all wrong, and I'm sure I'll get plenty of commentary on that. But you know what? I'm enjoying myself, and that makes it okay. So we'll get to turn the heat up a little bit in a minute. About to get to the quarry road, which I'm pretty convinced Mr. or Mrs. Iris is not going to go down, because seemingly no one ever drives down there. How lucky are we? Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning. What a way to spend a summer's evening. And that's really a good thing about the Porsche Club, actually. Getting to do all those really cool drives, like, you know, all through the year. But I tell you what, there's nothing quite like going on a drive as the sun rises. Oh, amazing. It's so cool. You know, there's so much. I actually think that's a great tagline. Porsches are good for mental health. I think that is true. Maybe we should prescribe 987 Cayman S's for mental health issues. I think it would work. I think we'd get a lot of support for that. I think that is something that we should definitely investigate. Someone somewhere in the NHS must be able to make that happen. I think getting to do things with great people in a great way and just enjoying life a little bit. This is not the way I expected this video to go. But we've got there anyway. Lovely Cotswold village. Absolutely stunning. Again, more of that in my prescription, please. Absolutely beautiful. The other great thing about Cotswold roads is loads of elevation changes. Not flat in a straight line, loads of corners, loads of opportunities to drop a gear and go through the trees like that. How gorgeous. Absolutely unbelievable. He's turning right to go down the road I want to go down. Unbelievable. Right, and what we'll do is we will pull over and I will show you, or let you hear, should I say, what this thing sounds like from the outside. Because I think it sounds pretty special. We'll do it here. This is the car. You've all probably seen a Cayman S. You've not come here to look and see what a Cayman S looks like. However, used, not just looked at. It is a bit dirty, but do you know what? I think it looks great. Now, I'll try a bit of filming now with the windows slightly down, so you can hear what that sounds like. I have found I can move the microphone. Very clever. There's a magnet on it, so you don't have to wear it right up there. So you'll now either be able to hear me, or you won't be able to hear me. We'll see how that goes. This is another excellent Cotswolds road. bumps along, and it's awesome. I think that's too loud for you to be able to hear. I think this is like the perfect example of what I was on about with, you need a car you can actually drive quickly without it being too firm. I imagine a Cayman R would be absolutely biblical down here, and it would be really good fun, and it would be enjoyable. But this is not enjoyable. Not bad, is it? You just have a really nice drive. Everyone says S2000 rifle bolt gear change, and it was. This isn't bad with the optional sport shift kit, is it? Good fun, isn't it? I must have said that 1,000 times, but it really is. It's just good for the soul. You've got to have a fun car at some point in your life. I think you've got to do it. There was a moment of doubt then, where I nearly had to use the sat-nav. Drive anywhere near as good as people like Das Cayman and all the other people out there who just have this natural ability to drive brilliantly and it look effortlessly. But I tell you what, I reckon I'm having as much fun.